Right, today we're heading into something a bit different, but it's honestly way overdue. Tesla packs so many safety features into these cars that most owners don't even realise half of them exist. Some of them are absolute lifesavers, so I'm pulling together the essential list, the stuff I think every Tesla owner should know. If you're new here, I'm Gary and I drive Teslas all over the UK in all sorts of weather and sometimes with the kids kicking off in the back. So I get plenty of chances to actually use this stuff in the real world. Today, we're going to be talking 11 genuinely important safety features. Not marketing, not gimmicks, proper tools that'll keep you and the family safe. So let's kick off with the big one, matrix headlights. They're brilliant, they're finally enabled here, and honestly they're brilliant because you get full beam visibility without blinding oncoming drivers. Because the car literally shades out parts of the beam in real time, it feels a bit like watching the road being painted in front of you. It makes night driving much less stressful, especially on the rural roads where things like sheep or animals can really appear out of nowhere. Head into your lights and make sure they're switched on and leave them on. Next up is Valet Mode. If you've ever handed your car over at a hotel or maybe an airport parking place, this is quite useful. It locks down your personal info, caps the car's power, and stops whoever's driving from accidentally or intentionally launching it straight off into orbit. Protects your data, your privacy, and your sanity. This is one way you can keep your car safe when you're having to hand it over to someone. Next up, Sentry Mode. This is basically your built-in bodyguard. Leave the car parked, it'll monitor its surroundings with all the cameras, and if someone gets too close or starts acting a bit weird, the car will light up, it records everything and sends it to your USB stick. And let's be honest, it saved me a few times, you can see from my other videos. It's quite good to make sure your car's safe if you're leaving it for a long time. And another way of making sure it's running quite efficiently and to save unnecessary battery drain is to make sure it's set up in certain areas. And also your camera-based detection and making sure that's switched on or off. Switching it off will save quite a significant amount of your battery because it's not constantly looking for people walking past your car. It's only looking for actual detection with the car. Next up, cabin overheat protection. Now, this one's hugely underrated. If you've ever come back to a car, it feels like it's been like the inside of a toaster. You'll appreciate this. Not so much in the UK. We get heat a few times a year, but Teslas will automatically stop the interior from going to dangerous temperatures. It's more so for protection inside the car, not what's inside the car. So looking at your things like your equipment and anything else you keep in the car, this is a good way of making sure that the cabin overheat will keep it in a secure environment. Think about things you keep in there, maybe like equipment outside, like a laptop or certain electrical devices. Even the other things that like food, perishables, you don't want that to overheat, and obviously other things like your car dashboard, seat, the trim, making things warp or crack is not a good look in a few years' time on your Tesla. Maybe have this enabled on when temperatures get above 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. That's 77 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit for those across in the US. No AC mode if you want to minimize range loss. And obviously the feature will disable if the battery gets less than 20%, which is one of the recent updates that Tesla's provided on their software updates. Now, blind spot cameras. This is every time you indicate your left or right repeater, camera will pop up, but I use this constantly to look rather than the mirrors. However, if you have the steering wheel set at a certain height, it's going to be blocking the view depending on your position in the car. So make sure you can adjust it by moving it around the screen. This gives you a handy way of making sure you can still keep your eyes on the road, but if you need to tweak your eye to the left or the right, move your steering wheel just slightly out of the way. And it gives you a much clearer view of what's around you. This is one of the many benefits of Tesla's vision and camera-based approach. Next up is emergency charger release. So this one's really practical. If you've ever plugged in and the cable gets stuck, frozen, or there's a fault with the charger, there's a manual release cable hidden behind the trim in the boot. So by looking at here, everything looks fine. Assuming this was wrong and it was broken for whatever reason, look right underneath there. There's a tiny little toggle. If you pull that, the charge cable should release. That allows you a way to release the charger and ensure, hopefully, a safe exit from that charging situation. Sometimes, though, that will come up. I haven't had it happen to me personally, but it's good to know it's there. Now, next up is quite a catchy one. It's actually called rear seat safety latch release. Some of you might not know about this, but looking in your Tesla and looking in the door pockets on the rear seats, check for a little toggle, which should be either easy to lift up from the panel or underneath a bit of fabric, and it should allow you, in the event of a crash, this electronic release will open up the back seats. However, my Model Y doesn't let me do it. And then dog mode. Quite a common feature most people know of. This is a great way of us keeping the kids cool and obviously sometimes keeping them warm in winter as well. It displays a handy little message on the screen which shows people that the dogs or children are very safe in the car and you'll be back soon. When you're away, you can also use your live camera via the Tesla app. I think a lot of people don't realize that's there. Great way of keeping an eye on things if you're away doing a shop. Now you might know about this one, Dashcam on Honk. Go into your safety settings and press the Dashcam option and press on Honk, and what it'll do, it'll save or record when you've pressed the horn, and that allows you then to make sure, look, if the accident does get pretty bad and then if the airbags do deploy, what happens next? You've also got your Dashcam hopefully saved the recording. If your car's a mess, Teslas are actually one of the safest vehicles to be in. However, if they do deploy, if you're ever in a crash, the car will automatically call the emergency services for you using the car's internal connection. It also unlocks the doors, turns on the hazards, and kills any high voltage power. That's a great safety feature to have. That just sums up how good the Teslas are and how safe they are. So wherever you are in the world, buying a Tesla is a really, really strong endorsement of just how safe a vehicle can be for you and your family. It's a great option to have. Look, any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'm looking to do more of these videos, so any suggestions, anything I've not covered, please do. Look, and see you in the next one.